All right, come on, let's go out to the water. Okay, so what's your name?
All right. My name's
I'll
Hugo.
hold
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry. My name's
No, it's
Hugo.
okay. All right, good. I'm Eris. It's my birthday today.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Oh
What
yeah,
age
that's
are
what
you
the
now?
Dutch do. They say congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so then if we had a party here,
Yeah.
then you would say, or was this not a Dutch thing but a Swedish thing maybe? But then you would say congratulations to everyone there for the
Right.
person's birthday?
Congratulations with your son.
Yeah?
Congratulations with your parent. What? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you would
okay,
do that.
cool,
Yeah.
cool. All right, very good. And then what's this beauty's name?
This is Ube. Ube from Haus am Berg.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. Do you want to come over and say hello?
Ube, come on. He's a German Shepherd.
Yeah,
Um, we have him since August, so for just about half a year.
yeah.
And he's a good boy. He's
Awesome.
protective but very kind.
Yeah.
And he loves the beach and bowls and playing, but he's a working dog. He likes
Yeah,
to work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So dogs are pretty similar. Mine's 6. Okay, so what is the soul?
What is the soul?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I can give you another one, and then we can come back to that one.
I like to think about it, but yeah, shoot another one.
What is the mind?
All right, yeah. What is the soul? What is the mind?
And then what is the brain?
I think the brain is, if I would put it in a metaphor, the brain is the engine.
Yeah, people like that metaphor.
So the brain by itself is
What?
is nothing.
Is nothing.
Is a tool. It's being driven by the mind and maybe also the soul.
Uh-huh. And what about for him?
Yeah, what is the soul for him or the mind for him?
And the brain, is it just an engine for him and there's something else pulling the strings in there?
Yeah, those are good questions. No, I think the mind and the soul both pull the strings, where the brain is just a tool to
Okay.
compute.
So he's got a mind soul in there pulling the strings of the brain.
Yeah, I think so.
What about like a mouse? Same.
Yeah, same. Like, doesn't matter how big the brain is. Well, you have plenty of animals that have brains that are maybe not microscopic, but very
Very
small.
small.
Yet, I think they still have understanding and a drive.
Okay. So, all right. So would you say then that all anim okay, so you said elements of the soul are understanding and drive. Those
Yeah.
are 2 elements that we've come up with for the soul. And these are things that every animal has, regardless of what their engine is.
Yeah. So that's maybe also the reason why I'm a vegetarian, because I believe that animals do have feelings, that
Yeah,
they do enjoy life, and they
yeah.
shouldn't be.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
feelings and enjoying life. Okay. Now, what if I were to explain the neurological mechanisms of feeling, enjoying life,
Hmm.
being motivated, um, etc.? What would that do to this division, this dualism, or trilism?
Wow. Yeah, that's deep. Um, from a neuro perspective, neuroscience perspective.
Yeah. So if neuroscience is a study of the brain, I think it's a study of,
Yeah.
of humans, or of any animal, of how it thinks, how it feels, of everything.
Yeah.
But I find that the public likes to only think of the brain as maybe just this engine that doesn't really do anything, or just this translator of
Hmm.
from our for our magical self to be able to communicate with the
Yeah.
physical world.
Yeah.
And then some people like to think of the brain as that's just logic and
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
But but in neuroscience psychology, we've known about structures that are their only job is emotion, or their only job is feeling, or their only job is motivate the basal ganglia
Yeah.
for motivated movement. And then the thing is, our engines are very different, right? Mine and his. I've got a lot more pieces to the engine, a
Yeah.
lot more cells, a lot more connection between the cells, a lot more, many more synapses, right? Much more volume and so on.
Much more depth.
Physical depth.
No.
Or so then those things, those aspects of the engine, they lend
Right.
to having more depth.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you can have different size of engines, different tools, different abilities.
Yeah.
So, just being the tool, being the engine, that doesn't mean that it's limited to only doing one job or to doing one function.
Well, there's 100 billion neurons, so it's got lots of different functions,
Yeah,
lots of different networks. So let me ask you about this possibility. Is it possible that I am a brain?
you are a brain.
Yeah,
Yes, I think you are a brain.
yeah. So as in if you put my brain into a jar, hooked it up to a screen and an audio system where I would basically continue to exist.
Mm. Uh, that's
It's icky,
doubtful.
right?
That's doubtful.
Is it doubtful or does it just feel gross?
I think technologies at the moment are still in
No, 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 we
infancy.
couldn't do it now. We
At the
couldn't do it
moment,
now.
no, but I think in the future, in the near future,
Ah,
maybe yes. Why
okay.
not?
So it is possible that you are entirely, or let's say 99% a brain. That your feelings, your emotions, your memories, your
Yeah, yeah.
perspective, your thoughts, your ideas, your beliefs could all be sort of observed with the right
It's
technology.
easier to grasp than to say, I think no, this is all the soul, because what is the soul? The
Yeah,
soul is
no
like
kidding, right? No kidding, exactly,
this.
right? Because I like to say we discovered the soul. We thought it was here, this
Yeah,
heart thing.
yeah,
Then we thought that this brain thing just cooled down blood at one point, so that the heart could continue to do its soul stuff. And then we started to realize, oh, wait a minute. Every time we change something in here, it changes something fundamental about the personality or memory or abilities or whatever about the person. Holy shit, we found the soul.
yeah,
So now scientists are looking at the mechanisms of the soul, and everybody else is going, oh, no, 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 my soul's
yeah,
here
yeah.
still.
That's a very Ibizan
Yeah?
way of thinking.
So you said that your answer would be different.
Yeah, because I don't necessarily believe in the afterlife or having outer bodies experience,
Okay.
those kind of stuff. So I think that we,
Those would be easy if we were souls to have our outer body
yeah, I think so.
experiences.
Yeah. So at the moment, I feel like we should enjoy life right now where we are
Yeah,
and make the most of it.
yeah.
Not necessarily think about I want to go to heaven, so I want to do good, or no, do good because it makes you feel
But
good.
that
Because
matches Ibiza, right? Sort of the
I think
conscious community
yeah, I
hippie
think that
attitude.
does.
That piece does.
But I think it's a different perspective
Yeah,
where the Ibisenkos made, or at least the hippies that came here, maybe not even the locals, but people that have been coming here for decades.
yeah.
I think they they don't maybe not even know themselves like any answer to these kinds of
Yeah,
questions.
yeah, but they think that they do.
Right.
I've
Yeah.
interviewed a lot of people that say, "Oh no, it's impossible that we're neurons." No, 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 I can't. No, 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 not
No,
possible. We're
it's
magical soul beings.
electricity.
We're
Like
light beings,
yeah,
energy beings.
yeah.
So yeah, exactly. Okay, very cool. Now you're here. You have a girlfriend or a wife?
No, no, I'm just yeah, I got a boyfriend right
Ah, okay, very good. Hello. I thought you said we, meaning
now.
referring
Yeah,
to
right.
a.
So I live with a couple friends
Okay,
here on the island who are not here in the
okay.
wintertime.
You don't know a Sonia, do you?
Sonia, no.
No, okay. Met her in Amsterdam.
Oh.
And she's from here. So then I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll find her.
We go to the beach and go back home,
Yeah,
and that's and then I start working,
yeah,
and that's it. Yeah.
very good. Okay, let me ask you one last thing then. Okay, do you have time for one last one?
Yeah, sure.
All right, what's a cognitive bias?
Cognitive bias.
Yeah.
All right, so it's an understanding that you choose cognitive bias. Okay, cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance is sort of how we resolve cognitive dissonance is sort of an example of a cognitive bias.
Right. Yeah. So they're the opposite, basically.
Well, let me ask you this. So, do you make mistakes?
Of course.
How's that happen? How come you're
Working too quickly, don't want to finish a task.
so if you worked at a good rate, would you make mistakes? Could you make mistakes then?
Sure.
Still?
Yeah. People
Oh.
make mistakes.
How does that happen? Why?
Still, maybe overload, maybe oversight.
Uh-huh.
Could be
But you're giving a lot of external excuses. What if we solve all of those problems
mm-hmm.
and we give someone the perfect conditions for working, thinking,
Oh, still
reasoning?
human. It's still human.
Still human. What does that mean though?
You're still gonna tip over your cup of coffee
Yeah.
and drop it on top of your laptop, and
Okay.
mistakes happen, accidents happen.
Okay. Okay. Now, so there are these hundreds of these cognitive biases that we've identified, which are these errors in human reasoning.
Yeah.
Things that humans, when we see X, we think Y to be true.
Right.
And we consistently do that, even though that's not actually
I love to
reasonable.
be a hypocrite. I'll tell people do one thing and then I'll do the other thing
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
I think hypocrisy can be an eye opener as
Wait,
well.
why are we talking about hypocrisy?
I think it's part of the bias.
Okay, I see.
It's a cognitive bias. Being a hypocrite could be a cognitive bias.
Right, but there are also cognitive biases that we all have, that we run every day, that we execute, sort of these programs that we execute every day, that don't lead us to truth, but do seem compelling. And so, for instance, correlation is causation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every human brain has a mechanism in its brain that goes, if I see correlation,
Yeah.
then I have just observed causation.
Right.
And I can speak now to a causal pattern. That would be an example of a bias. It's something, a fault in our reasoning that was advantageous in our evolution, because it is kind of cool to go, oh, okay, if there's a correlation, then I should consider some causation. But then, of course, nature wanted to simplify things, so it's just like, okay, you're not going to consider it because you're idiot humans,
Yeah.
but just anytime you see correlation, believe in causation, basically.
Yeah, I think it's maybe too easy.
What's too easy?
What about addiction?
What about
A lot
addiction?
of people are addicted. They know they are addicted.
Yeah,
Could be addicted to minor things like caffeine or
yeah,
maybe nicotine.
yeah,
Not so minor. Maybe adult entertainment, porn. Maybe you could be addicted to weed or
yeah,
other substances.
yeah.
But
Well, what?
people know that they're addicted,
Exactly.
but still they continue to do so.
Yeah, can you hold this for a second?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, just understand.
Holy fuck.
Oh, you didn't record?
Okay, I'm recording on
All
this. I
right.
cannot believe, I don't know how long, I don't know whether someone called me for my birthday or what,
No.
but for a little while I have
Well,
not
that's
been
why you have
recording.
two angles, right?
That's right, that's exactly right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so addiction. What
Mhm.
you seem to be saying that something that we've said doesn't fit with your sort of experiences with addiction.
Well, not necessarily addiction.
I don't mean your personal experience,
Right,
but just
yeah,
your sort of
yeah.
knowledge of.
Just having the understanding that something might be biased or might be wrong or might be against rules or common beliefs, that doesn't mean that people don't do it. That doesn't mean that
Hey,
people
no,
don't
exactly.
feel good when they
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. So here, let me present it this way. Um, the way I think of the mind is being hundreds of thousands of what I call it mechanisms,
Mhm.
if then.
Yeah.
Okay. And so for any given condition, and that condition can come from outside or from within the brain from another it,
Mhm.
that condition is going to target or activate, trigger a specific it that's sort of sitting there waiting for it,
Yeah.
right? Then it thens,
Yeah.
right? And that then might be a behavioral output or just might be an effect on another it, right? Who's just waiting for that condition.
Mhm.
Okay, so we've got hundreds of thousands of these, and they're all sort of competing, sort of cooperating. I'm not doing a good job of holding this. So they're all sort of competing, sort of cooperating. Yeah, so you've got an it, for example, that if I derive pleasure from this thing, then do more of this thing.
Yeah.
Every human brain
Yeah.
has that it.
Even though it's not good for you, it's not good for
Right,
the
because
environment.
we're not reasonable,
Yeah.
magical
Yeah.
souls.
Right.
And so that it runs. And now there might be another it in some human brains that's able to compete with that first it. Like if this thing causes me pain,
Yeah.
then don't do it despite the pleasure cause or something. And it depends on the strength of that it.
Mhm.
So that's why some brains that are more prone to addiction, well, they've got the sort of dopamine based, if
Yeah.
it brings me pleasure, it
Do
do
it,
it.
do it, do
That,
it.
yeah, that's super strong and with pretty little competition.
Yeah.
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 So I think that makes sense. And
Is that a cognitive bias?
you could really say that any it that is not good, however you define good. So it could be that doesn't match truth, that doesn't match your own objectives or some of your objectives. You could call those sort of that a cognitive sort of error. Well, I don't really like using the term bias. I say there are maladaptive its,
Yeah.
and then there are
What does that mean? Maladaptive?
maladaptive being opposite of adaptive.
Okay.
So for instance, and a lot of the its that we have that would be considered maladaptive today were useful in the past. Like for instance, our sugar it.
Yep.
If I see sugar available, consume as much of it as I can.
Mhm.
That made sense back then. Now that's still running.
Yeah.
And even though there's way too much sugar,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Everything in moderation.
yeah, and so I would say that now is a maladaptive it.
Okay.
And I would not presume that because the sit stem, the brain, it's because one of them knows that another one isn't good. That doesn't mean that it can just stop it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So that takes training and practice and reorganizing of the neurons, and even then sometimes.
And does that happen in the brain or in the soul?
In the brain, yeah.
In the mind?
So the brain, basically, you start out with 100 billion neurons, and then over the first few years of your life, based on what neurons are used and what connections are used, some of the connections sort of die away, some of them get strengthened. So there you've got already learning happening. And then over the course of your life, more of that happens. More connections are either made or reduced. And as those connections change, the if-then sort of gates change, right? And so the whole network changes. Because now when it gets slapped or activated, it doesn't have the same effect on the other one that it used to.
Very interesting. Maladaptive?
Yeah, I call them malas.
Malas.
Yeah. And anyway, last thing. So the myth of integration is a myth that because we believe that we're these single souls that we all believe in. In the myth of integration, it's like entirely integrated.
Yeah.
That everything part of me experiences or knows or wants has the appropriate influence on every other part of me. And so everything that I do is based on what I know and what I want. And that's complete bullshit. We do so many things that are in conflict with some of our other objectives or the other information that we have.
Right.
And sometimes those questions are just never sort of asked in the moment. The brain doesn't have infinite resources, right? So it sends out a behavior, even though maybe it was the opposite of what, another part would have
Maybe you're a
suggested.
hypocrite.
Yeah, we all are. We all are. Because of the fact that we're not a single thing, there is necessarily a difference between the different pieces and mechanisms.
Right. The hypocrite.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And that's great because then I call it theory. So the hypocrite. And just put the IT in capital. Yeah.
If I was a DJ, I would be DJ Hypocrite.
All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Good. Okay. Well, it was great to meet you. I'll let you guys play now.
Right.
And did you want to, I really did a terrible job recording here. Did you want to add anything else?
I think you summed it up. I think you did a great job.
All right, good.
I think you should interview less and do more monologues.
Are you making fun of me?
No. But I think you have the wisdom.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that's what a nice birthday.
Why ask dumb people?
Okay. Yeah.
You know the answer.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna take that literally. What you're saying right now. I'm gonna take that seriously. All right. Okay. All right, buddy.
Have a good
Nice to meet you, Hugo. If you're hungry, you can have.
No.
¿Tienes hambre?
No.
Huevo. No, it's a joke. Chiste.
Okay. Where are you from?
What's your name?
Can I put my
My name is Noelia.
No. I mean, you can if you want.
Sí.
No idea.
Sara.
Sara. Okay, from Madrid. All right, let's do this as the background. Okay, so what is the mind? ¿Qué es la mente?
Donde piensas.
Okay.
Tú piensas las cosas en la mente, ¿no?
Yeah. Where is it? Up there.
And here.
Both.
Yes.
Okay, so there's two mentes?
No, only one.
No,
but
only
it's
one.
in a lot of places.
Okay. So
Oye, pero que no salgo. Ven,
oh,
Noelia,
hey, yeah,
ven
come
aquí,
closer,
ven
come
aquí.
closer.
Es que yo no sé.
Que yo no soy muy filósofa.
Okay, so it's two systems. Okay.
Maybe, yes.
If you have an emotional problem, would you go see a cardiologist?
No.
Oh, you wouldn't?
Psychologist.
Oh, but you would go see a psychologist who studies the heart?
No.
No? So then when would you see a cardiologist?
Pues cuando estás mal del corazón.
Okay. Like when you're heartbroken?
No.
No?
No.
So is the mental system, but I'm confused now.
Ay, me está rayando tú a mí también un poco, ¿eh?
Okay. What do you think? ¿Entendiste?
No.
Okay, entonces, dijo que hay dos sistemas.
Oye, yo speak Spanish very good.
Yeah, venga. No, yo. Oh, gracias.
you.
Gracias. Okay. So hay dos sistemas.
Sí.
hay el corazón,
El corazón.
Corazón.
¿ok? Y hay la mente del cerebro.
Sí.
Entonces, dos mentes.
Sí.
La mente del corazón y la mente del cerebro.
Sí.
Entonces, yo pregunté, entonces, ¿cuándo vas a ver un cardiólogo?
Sí, un cardiólogo.
Sí,
Ah.
cuando tiene un
Cuando tengo
problema de
necesidad
emoción.
Cuando tengo problema de emoción, sí.
Ah,
No, a un
sí.
cardiólogo.
Ah, un cardiólogo no.
Oh, no.
No,
Entonces,
un cardiólogo cuando tengo problema de
Cuando tienes
corazón.
problemas
ok.
de corazón, de las venas.
Pero nada de
No,
emociones,
no,
de la
no. No,
mente.
eso un psicólogo.
Ah, ok,
Claro.
ok. Entonces, ¿es posible que tú existas aquí?
Yo.
Sí, en el cerebro. Y tú aquí y yo aquí.
Sí,
Sí,
Ok.
sí.
Entonces somos cerebros.
sí. Por de nosotros
En
sí,
parte sí,
en
¿no?
parte sí.
En parte. Y la otra parte. El otro
Y
partido.
la otra parte.
Una parte muy grande es el cerebro y otra parte muy grande, no sé.
Sí, ok, muy bien. Estoy de acuerdo.
Sí,
Ah, ¿qué
sí, yo
piensas?
también.
Ok. Y, ok, la última pregunta. No sé cómo se dice.
En inglés.
Cognitive biases.
Puf.
No. Ok. Cuando tú dices todavía siempre dices verdad. No, siempre conoces la verdad.
No,
No.
no siempre.
Entonces, a veces faltas.
Claro, a veces falta, ¿no?
Ok. Ok, muy bien. Entonces se llaman, pero ok, take out your phone. We're going to look it up. ¿Cómo se dice en español?
¿El qué?
Go to your translator.
Ok.
I don't think I'm doing a good job of
Ok,
recording.
ok.
Okay. C. Oh no, I'm spelling in English.
Ah, ok.
C. No. Yeah. Okay. O. G. N. I. T. I. V. V.
Cognitivo.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Bias. Oh, no. Wait, we're supposed to be typing in English right now. Okay.
Cognitive.
IAS.
¿Hay?
A.
¿Cuál es la hay?
I. E.
¿Qué más?
A. S. A. Oh, Neo.
Sexo
Hola.
cognitivo, ¿qué coño es esto?
Okay.
Prejuicios
Okay, that's your
cognitivos.
homework now.
Es que yo no sé qué es esto.
Okay, well, you have to look it up. Wikipedia. Okay?
Vale.
Oh my gosh, I'm doing a really bad job of recording. All right, very good.
Sesgo cognitivo, ¿qué coño será eso?
Oh yeah, and then, y pues,
Ah, vale.
explícanos.
Un sesgo cognitivo es una interpretación errónea sistemática de la información disponible
Sistemática, sí.
que ejerce influencia en la manera de procesar los pensamientos. ¿Vale?
Okay,
Por la mala influencia, ¿no?
hay 500 de esos.
Ajá.
Entonces, necesitamos aprenderlos por, no sé, evitar o saber cuando hacemos eso. No,
No me
vale.
estoy enterando de nada, tío.
Mira, ese es tu trabajo de mirar eso. Es todo.
Vale, ya está, ya lo he mirado. ¿Qué quieres que
Okay,
te diga?
that's it.
Ok.